Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this amazing spatchcock chicken. So we're going to start off with our birds. So I've got a very large chicken here that's going to feed about 4 people. So I'm flipping the chicken over to its front side so that its back is facing up. And to spatchcock the chicken, you're basically going to need a very sharp pair of scissors to cut out the backbone. So you're just going to go basically where the bum is and cut upwards on one side. So like I said, you're going to need some really sharp scissors for this. Mine was sharp enough, but I could definitely do with a sharper pair. So as I said, I'm just cutting along one side, and I'm going to do that all the way up to the neck of the chicken. So once I've done that side, I'm going to go to the other side of the bum of the chicken, and I'm going to cut up towards the neck on that side too. It's definitely an easier job with sharp scissors, so like I said, the sharper the scissors, the better. So yeah, just slowly trying to get this backbone out. I'm getting there. And I've finally got it out. So you don't need to discard this, you can use it to make a stock or make a gravy, so please do keep it. And yeah, now that the backbone is out, I'm just basically opening up the chicken, and I've grabbed a sharp knife, and what I'm going to do is just open it up a little bit more by making a small cut in between the breastbone. So as you can see, I'm just pressing down gently and making a slight cut there, and this is opening up the bird even more. And that's looking good. So I'm now just gonna flip the bird back up so that the front is facing forwards again, and I'm gonna work on my seasoning. So I'm gonna start off with some olive oil. So I'm putting 3 tablespoons of olive oil in. I've decided to make a sort of spicy maple glaze to go with this chicken, and I think it's gonna taste really good. So I've got 3 tablespoons of olive oil. To that I'm adding I want to say about 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. So obviously this is quite a large bird, so we do need quite a lot of salt and pepper. So I'm going in with about 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt, and I'm just mixing that into the olive oil. And I'm also adding some white pepper. So again, I would say about 1.5 teaspoons of white pepper. I'm mixing that in again. I'm now adding smoked paprika. So I'm adding probably about a whole tablespoon of smoked paprika here. I just really like the flavour that paprika brings. So I'm mixing that in again. I'm now adding some dried chili. So that's about a teaspoon of dried chili. And I'm also adding some ground ginger. So again, I would say about 1.5 teaspoons of ground ginger. And I'm just mixing that in thoroughly, making sure all the seasonings are dissolving into the olive oil. I'm now going in with some garlic. So this is some garlic that's already been chopped up. So I'm adding about 2 whole teaspoons of my garlic. And I'm also adding some lemon juice. So you can use fresh lemons, but I'm using lemon juice here. So I'm adding, I think I added about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I'm mixing that in again. I'm just adding another tablespoon of lemon juice for good measure. So that's 3 in total. And I'm mixing that in again. making sure that everything is thoroughly mixed together. And last but not least, I'm going in with maple syrup. You can use honey if you don't have any. So I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, and that's just going to give the sauce a really nice sweetness, and I think it's going to counteract sort of the lemon and the chili and everything else that we have in there. And I'm mixing that in, and that's the glaze all mixed together and ready to go onto the chicken. I'm just giving it a quick taste, and I thought it tasted great, and so I'm ready to season my chicken. So I've got a baking tray that I've just lined with some foil paper. I'm just going to put the bird inside, and then I'm going to go in with my glaze. So I'm just going to pour it over the chicken. And I'm going to mix it into the chicken, basically. You're going to give the chicken a nice good massage with the sauce. Make sure that every crevice is coated in that lovely sauce. Also going to flip it over and make sure that the underside has that sauce there too. Trust me when I say that this sauce does go a long way, even though it does look slightly pale at the moment. Once it's roasted in the chicken, you'll see that the sauce does go a long way. So I'm just flipping it back over, making sure that I'm rubbing in all the sauce. I'm now pouring the rest of the sauce on top of the chicken, just making sure that every crevice has got that sauce all over it, like I said. Don't waste any of the sauce. I'm just scraping it all out and making sure that I get every last drop. And whilst you're doing this, I should say that you should be preheating your oven, so get your oven nice and hot for the chicken to go into. So now that's all seasoned, I've preheated my oven and I've put the chicken in. I'm roasting it at 200 degrees Celsius and basting also as I go along. Once your chicken starts to get quite brown, you're going to want to cover it with some foil paper so that it doesn't burn, because obviously it's got the maple syrup in it, so that's going to make it look quite dark, and I didn't want it to look burnt. So around halfway through or 3/4 of the way through, you're going to want to cover it with some foil paper. And yeah, after about 55 minutes, my chicken was completely done. If you're not sure, you can sort of cut into it, and if the juices run clear, then it's done. But if they're still pink, you need to leave it in for a bit longer. But yeah, like I said, mine was done, so I'm just going to take it out. I've let it rest for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to transfer it to a board. So it's quite heavy, so I'm just psyching myself up a little bit. Yeah, so I managed to get it out, and yeah, that glaze just looks really, really nice. It's nice and dark, and you've got the sweetness that's coming from the maple syrup, as well as the spiciness from the chili and the smoked paprika and all those different flavourings. And yeah, it's just a really nice recipe, so I would really recommend this, guys. Do give it a try. Hi guys, so I've just finished making the spatchcock chicken. It's finished roasting in the oven. It looks really nice and juicy. So please do give this recipe a try and let me know what you think.